Hello surveyors, how are you? I hope you all are fine. So in the last class we have seen that we have combined multiple point clouds into a single point cloud, and that single point cloud is generated in the project manager's objects folder. Here in the object folder you can see a point cloud subfolder. Then there is our combined data. So today what we are going to do is we are going to extract or cut out the area of interest from this combined single point cloud. So I am going to open this. Let us open in true color mode. Click OK. So this is our combined data. This is a data of opencast mine, and in this opencast mine there is a particular location where the excavation process is going on, and I only want to do my volume calculation of that particular area of interest only. So before calculating the volume or the quantity of the excavated mineral or coal, what we have to do is we have to filter out that particular area of interest. So I'm not going to filter the entire combined data. I'm going to only filter the excavated area, the area in which excavation process is going on. So I have to extract out or cut out that particular area from this combined data. For this I want a reference boundary. So the prerequisite for this is we have to have a boundary in .csv format or other RiScan Pro supporting format. For this I have created a boundary line here. This is the boundary coordinates I have, and that in .csv format. So this is the boundary where this is easting, this is northing, and this is z. I have assumed z to be 0. So I have to import this boundary coordinates file in our project. So how we are going to import is, firstly we have to close this working window, and then I'll have to go inside this objects folder. There is a folder called polydata. So to import that boundary coordinate file, right click on this polydata and click on import option. So you can see a pop-up window will emerge and we have to import the file. So you can see the different formats in which you can import your boundary coordinate system. So the most important thing is, the prerequisite for this is we have to have the boundary coordinate file in the RiScan Pro supported format. So there are many formats you can see here. .ascii, ASCII is nothing but .txt or .csv, and other like polydata, pointcloud.3pf, .ply, .dxf, .las. So I'm going to import this file by single clicking and clicking on open. Then a pop-up window will emerge. So in the coordinate system there should be global coordinate system only, because the imported boundary coordinate file should be in the global coordinate system or the coordinate system that we want. And if we have a heading, then we have to skip that first line. So from here, if we have any heading, then I have to check by clicking here. So as you can see, there is no heading, there is only purely data. And just make sure that, as I have told you earlier, this particular column is of easting. So easting in RiScan Pro means x coordinate, and this column is of northing, and northing in RiScan Pro is y coordinate, and the last is z coordinate, that is elevation or RL in mining terms. So I don't have to skip any first line or first row here because there is only purely data present, and I will import by clicking OK. Okay, so as you can see in the project manager folder here, inside this polydata folder, if I will open, then I have successfully imported the boundary coordinates. So after successfully importing the boundary, I have to create the boundary line using these boundary coordinates. So what I will do here is I will drag and drop this boundary coordinate file, and I will choose a color and click OK. So here my boundary has been imported. So if you are unable to see the points here, what you can do is you can just press the P button in the keypad and scroll up using your mouse. So the size of the points in the point cloud data would increase. Okay, so now I have zoomed these points. Now I have to create the boundary line using these points. So what I will do, I will join these points and create a boundary line. So for this there is an option called create new polyline object here. So click on that. A pop-up window will generate and it will ask the name about the polyline. So I will name it boundary, and then in the mode option I will click closest point option here and tick the close polyline option only. And then what I will do, I will press the shift button in the keypad, and while pressing the shift button start clicking the points and go on. So just while pressing the shift button start clicking on the consecutive points and you will be able to draw the boundary line. And suppose what if you have mistakenly, instead of clicking on this point, if you have clicked on this point, then the line would be wrong. And to correct this, what you have to do is, in this points window, just go and select the last point, and you can see this point will be selected, and then press delete button in the keyboard. So then the last node would be deleted, and then again press the shift button and continue from the correct node. So this is how you can draw. So I will draw it, and then for finalizing the boundary line, just click on the first point from where you have begun. And to create this particular boundary, you have to just click create polyline once only, and then the boundary line would be created. Okay, so you can see in the name folder boundary 001 has emerged. Initially it was named as boundary, and now it has increased, and in the object inspector also a boundary object has appeared. That means this signifies that our boundary has been created. So close this pop-up window, and you can see in the polyline object here the boundary is created. Now close the working window. Now I have to extract the area of interest using this boundary line from the combined data. So I have to open this combined data. So while extracting the combined data, it is always better to open the combined data in the reflection mode. So in the mode option under attribute I will click on values, and in point attribute option I will choose reflectance and then click OK. So combined data has been opened. Now I will drag and drop this boundary polyline object over this combined data. Okay, now you can see the boundary has been draped over this point cloud data. Now what you have to do is, before extracting the data, I have to select the data within this polyline. So for this, click on bird's eye view here, and in the object inspector option go and click on GL camera icon. There is a small camera icon here. Click on it once and you can see the grid. So this GL mode is to see the data orthogonally, perfectly from the above, vertically from the above. And this is how we would extract our data. So to extract the data, first I have to choose the data within this boundary line. So for this, in the object inspector, scroll down and you can see this boundary object in the object inspector. So right click on it and click on select data option. So by clicking on this option, the data inside the boundary polyline would be selected from the combined data. So the data has been selected, and then click on the copy selection into new point cloud object and click on OK. So you can see in the point cloud object combined data 3 is our area of interest or the selected data. So after this, close the GL camera mode and close the working window, and please rename this combined data 3 as area of interest. Now you can see that by dragging and dropping. Let us open it in true color. My area of interest has been selected. Okay, so as you know, I have already advised you, and today also I will advise you to make a backup of area of interest. As soon as you create area of interest, make a backup, because there is no undo or control Z option in RiScan Pro software. So for that, select the entire point cloud data by control plus A, and again click on copy selection into new point cloud button here and click OK. So area of interest 2 as the backup of area of interest is created. Close this working window now. And this is how extract out the area of interest. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, share, subscribe the channel and click on the notification bell icon. Till next time, thank you. Have a great day.